This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 4:27 here on your Monday morning. Thank you for joining us here on RTV6 and Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. What a way to kick off the week with some major snowfall. This was the scene outside just moments ago. As you can see here, that snow covering the roadways and everything else in its path.
Yeah, it's beautiful, I would say, but also the roads are a little rough this morning. You can tell that crews have been out there working to plow. I actually drove home last night around 7:30 as the snow was falling, and it was really bad out there. So things were improved this morning. You can tell they've been out there salting. The interstates I actually thought looked pretty good compared to what I was expecting. But a lot of those secondary roads, they are slick. And right now, as we're heading into work, there's not a lot of traffic. So as traffic picks up, we are going to be keeping an eye on those conditions.
Right. And bad news is this is not only going to impact people here for their morning commute, but also their afternoon and evening commutes. Alyssa Donovan joining us here. So we're going to get a break here from this initial snowfall, but there is more to come.
That's right. So don't put away that snow shovel yet, because we do have some more snow moving in later this afternoon. So we're going to see a little bit of a lull period today, just through the midday hour. We are seeing the potential of just some freezing drizzle and drizzle this morning as you head out. So just be aware of that. The roads could still be slick. Even if they've been plowed, there could be some freezing on the roads this morning. As we head into the afternoon, we do have a winter storm warning that goes into effect right around 2 p.m. and that lasts until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's because we have the potential of an additional 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. Now, keep in mind, we're actually going to see more of a rain-snow mix today this afternoon. Most areas to the south are starting with rain, and then we have that potential of snow starting to the north and in central Indiana, but then likely we will all switch over to a little bit of snow, so we will see that potential of additional snowfall, and it is going to start around 2 p.m., 3 p.m. today, so it will likely impact your evening commute as well.
It could be a little rough with schools. We know that there are several delays right now, but sometimes when we have this kind of 1-2 punch, we start seeing those delays turn into closures when they decide, okay, hey, let's not bring the kids in.
So good day to keep an eye on that.
Alyssa, thank you. And because of this weather, there is a call out right now that will benefit Wheeler Mission. They are in desperate need of blankets.
Yeah, blankets, men's coats, and it's because we're getting into that season, and Jane Pauley Center is coordinating this, helping to get coats for Wheeler Mission. So if you have any new or gently used coats, you can drop those off there. They're extending that drive through January.
Yeah, and finally, tonight will be a great night to cozy up on the couch with a blanket and catch Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it's going to be here on RTV6. The Colts are playing the Saints. So we're going to have some pre-football coverage here. Our countdown to kickoff with date first, Brad Brown and former Colt Ryan Diem. That starts at 7:30. The kickoff, it is around 8:15 this evening. So again, we'll have more on Monday Night Football coming up right here in Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, Old Man Winter is here again with much of central Indiana under several inches of snow. We're working for you this morning with what you need to know before you head out the door for your morning commute.
Plus, a death investigation is underway on the city's northwest side after a body was found in a pond.
It's just not for real to me. I mean, I feel like I'm in a dream.
And a Speedway family is trying to pick up the pieces after losing nearly everything they own just weeks before Christmas. First here on this 4:30, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan joining us. And you've got an important job this morning, Alyssa, because not only did we have that snowfall overnight that is covering the roadways, we have more snowfall coming this afternoon. So things out there are going to be messy.
That's right. So it's going to be a dicey commute this morning and then a dicey commute this afternoon. We picked up just about 4.3 inches of snowfall at the airport, and that is a record for yesterday's date. And we have the potential of an additional 2 to 4 inches this afternoon. So by the time this is out of our area, we're looking at the potential of 7 to 8 inches as this system has moved through. This morning, we are still seeing just some light drizzle out there. We're seeing a few snow flurries as well. Most of that is switching over to just some light drizzle. We have the potential of some freezing drizzle this morning too. So as you head out on the roads, Even if they look clear, just be aware there could be some icing as well. So you want to take caution everywhere throughout central Indiana this morning. As we head through the day, we are going to see just a little bit of a lull period this morning until about the midday hour. That's when we're going to see this next wave of showers move through the area. We're looking at the potential of a rain-snow mix to start with most of that rain to the south of us, and then most of the snow moving into the north. So here's a look at the timing on that. We're going to start to see that right around the midday hour to those southern counties, and then that will move into central Indiana as we head into the afternoon. But you can see central Indiana likely going to see that band of snow moving through, which is why we are under that winter storm warning today, looking at the potential of an additional 2 to 4 inches, and then areas to the north and south of us still under that winter storm advisory this morning. So just be aware of that as you're planning your day today. Temperatures are starting in the 30s this morning. We're staying in the 30s this afternoon. Much colder temperatures later this week.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at those roads right now. This is I-465 and I-74. Look on the west side right now at your interstates. You can see traffic here is moving along okay. The roads are looking pretty clear from snow on the interstates. You can see it. We at least have one little ramp there open, and it looks like things are moving. So that is good news if you're traveling in this spot on the west side. But let's take a look in the downtown area. It's looking like we already have an issue here. A vehicle looks to be off on the side of the road or off in the road, and you can see that traffic here at the South Split is still moving past this situation. We may have some slide offs. We're going to keep an eye on those this morning, let you know where those are at as soon as we find them. Just use caution. Give yourself that extra time as you're heading out there.
And crews from INDOT and the Indianapolis Department of Public Works have been on the job since yesterday, getting roads prepared for the snow. About 170 trucks were deployed, plowing and salting roads to get you ready for the morning commute. And with a look at what you can expect on the roads as you get ready to head out the door is our Kelsey Anderson in our live drive. Kelsey, we want to check in with you. Where are you at right now, and how are the roads looking?
Well, good morning, Meredith. We are on the east side right now. We're on 465 north, heading towards the Fishers area. And so far, like you said, you can tell these crews were working through the night, working overtime to make sure that these roads were cleared. We haven't had any problems so far. There are some slick spots, you can tell, but we've been driving under the speed limit, giving plenty of room between us and other drivers, and we haven't had any problems ourselves. Now, we have seen other cars off the side of the road. We don't know if that happened this morning or last night when the snow was falling. We did get several reports from ISP and IMPD that they had several slide-offs that they were responding to last night. So again, just another reminder this morning to drive slow, slow down, give room between you and the other drivers, especially those exits getting on and off the interstate. We've noticed those are a little bit more slick than the interstate itself. But for now, we're seeing nothing too bad so far, but we will keep you updated if we do find anything. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. Stay safe out there. And here is a look at the latest travel advisories and watches across the state. You can see most of central Indiana is under a travel advisory, meaning some routine travel may be restricted, and you should use extra caution while driving. Right now, Owen and Monroe counties are under a watch, so if you're in those areas, essential travel is only recommended.
Well, some sad news out of West Lafayette this morning. We've learned a Purdue student has died just one night before he was set to graduate. The university says Kyle Runkle, a senior in the School of Aeronautics and Astronautics, died Saturday. Commencement ceremonies were held Sunday morning. No cause of death has been given at this time. Purdue is offering resources for students impacted by Runkle's death, though through its counseling and psychological services department.
Back here in the metro area, police are investigating after a man was found dead in a pond at an apartment complex. Officers responded to the Scarborough Lake Apartments near 46th and High School Road around 4 Sunday afternoon. First responders found the man unresponsive, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Homicide detectives have taken over, but the case is still being called a death investigation. The man's name and cause of death have not been released.
An Indiana appeals court has overturned a Washington County man's murder conviction, saying police failed to honor his Miranda rights. Joshua Reisinger was found guilty but mentally ill after a 2017 fire at his trailer killed a homeless man. He appealed, arguing the trial court wrongly allowed statements made to police after he said he was done talking. The Indiana Court of Appeals agreed. Reisinger's attorney says the court's decision is essential to affording people their right to remain silent.
A Speedway family is trying to figure out how to move forward after a fire destroyed almost everything they owned and forced them out of their home. The fire happened on Girard Avenue Thursday night. Mark McCammon says when he investigated the smell, he couldn't see any visual signs of a fire, but when he looked outside, smoke was pouring from the roof. He got his mother, who is in her 70s and battling dementia, out of the house and then called 911. The fire was put out, but the home will need extensive repairs that could take months. McCammon says the hardest part is making sure his mother is taken care of while he tries to pick up the pieces.
My mother's, it's very difficult for her. She doesn't understand why she can't come home. Finding somewhere to stay is tough too at this time. Wondering what we're going to do there and trying to get mother to be taken care of.
Now, Mark was in the process of buying the home, so unfortunately he did not have renter's insurance. One of his friends has set up a GoFundMe account to help the family get back on their feet. We've got a link to that on the IndyChannel.com.
A Fishers family says an antique Santa decoration was stolen from outside of their home, and they're just one of several families saying that a thief targeted their holiday decorations. Take a look at this doorbell video taken near 131st and Promise Road. This is in Fishers. You can see there the light up Santa. It's lit up, and then the lights go out and someone takes off with that decoration. Colby Smethers tells us the Santa had been in his family for 50 years. It was passed down from his grandparents, who have now passed away.
Showed somebody drove by very slowly, and then within the next minute or so, you can see arms reaching from behind the garage and just pulling the Santa away. We had the Santa staked into the ground, so it wasn't an easy nab. We'll still put out decorations and just hope that people don't suck as much.
Well, Colby says that the theft happened on Wednesday around 1 o'clock in the morning. During the same time frame, another neighbor captured a silver SUV, an older model there in the neighborhood. The woman was on that neighbor's porch rummaging around. Two others have posted on the Nextdoor app claiming their decorations were also stolen. We've reached out to Fishers Police to see how many people are targeted, and of course we'll keep you updated. Well, 7 months after being shot and attacked while on the job, IMPD officer Eric Rosenbaum still has not been cleared to return to work. But that didn't stop him from joining several of his fellow officers in an annual act of giving. On Saturday, a record 350 families benefited from the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police Shop with a Cop event. Children too young to attend or in foster care had officers as their personal shoppers, filling their carts up with clothing and toys on request. Officer Greenbaum says that it's an event that he looks forward to every year.
A lot of times when we come into contact with people, it's not on the best terms, or could be the worst day of their life. But being able to do something like this, it's rejuvenating not only for us but for the kids to be able to come together.
Well, the kids in attendance packed 100 boxes to be distributed by the Midwest Food Bank. Officers will get to pass out those gifts to the children who are unable to attend Saturday's event.
It is the Colts and Saints on Monday Night Football right here on RTV6. Our countdown to kickoff show begins tonight at 7:30. Sports Director Dave First, Brad Brown, and former Colt Ryan Diem will discuss the big matchup. The Colts and Saints will kick off at 8:15. That's all tonight right here on RTV6.
It is 4:39. The ousted Kentucky governor under fire for pardoning hundreds of criminals in his final days. Hear why some, including members of his own party, are now calling for an investigation into his decision.
And it's been 1 week since the deadly volcano eruption on New Zealand's White Island. Straight ahead, an update on the investigation. Alyssa.
And we had several inches of snowfall yesterday and this morning, but we are not out of the woods yet. We have a winter storm warning in effect this afternoon. For more snow on the way, I'll break down everything you need to know coming up.
Down, 0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
All right, here's a live look right now at the roads from our live drive vehicle. We're tracking this snowy commute, and right now the crashes are starting to pop up around the metro area on some of the interstates. We're going to break those down for you in just a minute, but this is a look at what you can expect as you're heading out there. You can see that they have salted because we do have areas where the snow has melted, and they've also plowed, but it's a little slushy out there and a little slick, so we're going to be keeping an eye on those conditions and crashes, and of course we'll break those down for you in just a moment.
Former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is under fire for issuing hundreds of pardons and commutations during his final days in office.
A number of them were violent offenders, including a child rapist, a man who killed his parents, and a mother who dumped her newborn in a septic tank. The more than 400 pardons and commutations were issued after Bevin lost his bid for re-election to Democrat Andy Beshear last month. Lawmakers in the state are now calling for an investigation, saying that political favoritism may have played a role in Bevin's decision. In one case, the family of a pardoned man raised more than $20,000 last year to help Bevin.
We have someone who was convicted of killing someone in front of his wife at his home, who pulled the trigger. Bottom line, if it looks like a duck and talks like a duck, you got to look into whether or not it's a duck.
In a 20-part Twitter message, Bevin defended his decision, saying in part, quote, "Not one person receiving a pardon would I not welcome as a co-worker, neighbor, or sit beside me or any member of my family in church, at a pew, or at a public event," end quote.
The U.S. Naval Academy is investigating whether 2 midshipmen flashed a hand symbol associated with white supremacy during a live pregame coverage of the Army-Navy matchup Saturday. The gesture in question is the OK sign, which was recently labeled as a symbol of hate by the Anti-Defamation League. According to the website 4chan, it represents the letters WP for white power. The Naval Academy has said based on findings of the investigation, those involved will be appropriately accountable. West Point is also looking into an Army cadet seen making the same gesture.
It is 4:45. It's been 1 week since the deadly volcanic eruption on New Zealand's White Island, and this morning the search continues for the bodies of 2 people who are still missing. 47 people were visiting the island when the volcano erupted, most of them tourists. 16 people have been confirmed dead. Among the victims, people from Australia, the United States, Britain, China, Germany, Malaysia, and New Zealand. Following a moment of silence held for the victims, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern offered her condolences for the victims' families and gave an update on this investigation.
Our thoughts continue to be with the family and friends of those who died and were injured in the Bakari White Island eruption. I've been advised that it is likely to take them a year to undertake this investigation.
Authorities are still working to identify all of the victims.
What started as a dare between friends is now an annual tradition with more than 700 people. The Santa Speedo Run in Boston celebrated its 20th year Saturday. The race raises money for the Play Ball Foundation, which provides Boston middle school students with a chance to play and build friendships through sports. Participants must commit to raising a minimum of $250 in order to run the race and also commit to wearing a Speedo. Those who attended in support of the runners are asked to make a $20 donation. Over the last 20 years, nearly $2 million has been raised for local children in need. And Alyssa, if anyone is heading out for a run this morning, we recommend that
Probably wear more than that.
they wear more than that, and they be really, really careful because it is slick out there. There is a lot of snow on the ground.
That's right. And the reason it's a Storm Team 6 alert day is not only because of our morning commute from all that snow we saw yesterday, but also because of our evening commute. We have more snow on the way, and we've already received just over 4 inches here in Indianapolis at the airport. That was a record yesterday for December 15th. As we head through the day today, we are looking at an additional 2 to 4 inches possible. And I want to show you right now on our IMS Pagoda Cam that you can kind of see some of those snow flurries still blowing around out there. We're still seeing some light flurries this morning. We could see some light freezing drizzle as well. Temperatures this morning starting in the 30s. We're going to stay in the 30s throughout the day. Those winds out of the north-northeast about 13 miles per hour. So a little breezy today as well. So we could see some of those snow flurries blowing around today. So all of that is just lingering from that first wave that moved through overnight. And we're continuing to see just a few light flurries and maybe just a few little drizzles out there, possibly some freezing drizzle mixed in as well, which could freeze on the roadways. So even if it looks like it's clear, just take some caution as you're driving this morning because we could see some slick spots. As we head through the day, we're seeing a bit of a lull period as we head through the morning hours until the midday, where we'll mostly see just cloudy skies. And then we have that next wave from this low pressure system that will move through this afternoon. We're going to start with a rain-snow mix with most areas to the south starting with that rain before we all switch over to snow, which will be later this afternoon and evening. As you can see, central Indiana likely going to start with that snow, maybe just the possibility of some rain mixed in there to start. And then we are going to stay snow as we head overnight as well. well, which is why we are under a winter storm warning today. Looking at the potential across central Indiana for about 2 to 4 inches possible. And you can see that's where we're going to see the heaviest bands of snow move through, with lighter snow to the north and south of us, which is why right across central Indiana, that area in pink is the area under a winter storm warning. That's in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, because we do have the potential of seeing about 8 inches total after the system is out of the area. To the north and south of us, we are looking at that winter weather advisory as well, looking at an additional 1 to 2 inches in those areas. Behind this system, we are going to see those temperatures drop off quite a bit. So cold front is moving through. Then we're going to see high pressure in control tomorrow and into Wednesday. We are going to see some dropping temperatures. So tomorrow morning, we're starting in the 20s, and then we are only climbing into the low 30s tomorrow, staying cold on Wednesday as well before we start to see those temperatures come back up. But today, the main thing is that snow that we are going to receive, seeing that freezing drizzle and flurries this morning, a little bit of a lull period right around the noon hour, and then we do have that rain snow mix and snow coming back in this afternoon. Again, additional 2 to 4 inches possible across central Indiana as the system continues to move through. Tomorrow could see some lingering snow in the morning, and then we are going to see partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Temperatures only climbing into the low 30s.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out there. This is where we had that crash in the downtown area. It was on southbound I-65 at the South Split. It looks like it has just cleared, so that is good news for your downtown commute. That was on the exit ramp in the area. Let's take a look right now at our traffic now map. We can see that the interstates, for the most part, are kind of a yellowish green color, just meaning you need to take it slow no matter where you're going due to the conditions. Over here on the west side, we did have a crash northbound I-465 near Rockville Road, blocking the left lane. It looks like crews are working that one right now. Over here on our east side, we have part of the ramp blocked eastbound I-70 to Rural Street, and that is due to a crash in the ramp system there. Let's take a look right now down to the southeast side. This is in Beech Grove, I-465 and Emerson Avenue. Overall, the interstates are pretty clear from snow. They've been plowed off. They've been salted. It's those secondary streets that you're going to need to watch out for this morning. The slush making things slick. Of course, we'll continue to monitor the conditions from back here in the studio and also out on the roads in our live drive, and we'll keep you updated on any major issues.
An ad about weddings leads to, of all things, a divorce. The Hallmark Channel is apologizing after pulling an ad featuring a same-sex couple. The ad features 2 women exchanging wedding vows. Conservative group 1 Million Moms posted a petition online calling for the ad's removal, saying it didn't align with the network's, quote, family-friendly content. Hallmark bowed to the pressure and removed the ad last week, but yesterday, after threats of boycotts, the network did an about-face. In a statement, Hallmark apologized, saying it is committed to diversity and inclusion. The channel also says it will work to reestablish its partnership with the company who created the ad.
This looks like something straight out of a James Bond movie. A new luxury yacht that can turn into a submarine. Dreamed up by Italian-based naval architect, the hybrid vessel known as the Carrapace. The yacht here can dive into the depths of 985 feet for up to 10 days. It would hold 3 deck levels with a VIP cabins, a lounge, a spa, a bar, and a health club along the onboard amenities. Anyone lining up to take a ride should be prepared to spend hundreds of millions of dollars, though. But while you have to save a while, the designer says this is going to be a while before anything like this hits the waters. A special moment between a bride and her brother is going viral, coming up why she says she wanted to put a twist on a traditional photo shoot.
And coming up at 5, we're continuing to track road conditions for your morning commute. This is a look from our live drive right at this very moment. Our Kelsey Anderson will give us a look at what you can expect as you get ready for your Monday morning commute. It's 4:53. We'll be right back.
Quilpure Z's, naturally superior sleep.
A New York woman and her brother have been inseparable all of their lives. Nick Rice has Down syndrome. He and his older sister Ashley celebrate all of life's milestones together, and Ashley's wedding was no exception. So when she began planning her big day, Ashley knew she wanted Nick to be by her side. Not only that, she wanted him to be the first to see her. So on her wedding day, Ashley shared her traditional first look with Nick. They shared photos of the special moment online, which have now been shared thousands of times. Ashley says it was a moment neither of them will ever forget. How sweet.
I love that idea.
Yes.
You can mix it up if you want to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, look at him. He's so proud.
Yeah.
Very cute. All right, Alyssa, we need to talk about the weather out there because it is not pretty.
Yeah, so we had quite a bit of snow overnight. We had about 4.3 inches in Indianapolis, so quite a bit, and we are not done yet. Round 2 is on the way today. We're going to see that this afternoon, which is why we do have a winter storm warning in effect. That's the area in pink on your screen until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're looking at the possibility of an additional 2 to 4 inches of snow. We're going to see that start as a rain-snow mix this afternoon, switching to just snow this afternoon and evening and overnight. Tomorrow, much colder conditions. That cold sticks with us through Wednesday.